Hey, what's good, everybody? You watching another episode of Setting the Record Straight live with Peter Everson. Go ahead, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates. I have with me my beautiful queen. Is my queen to be? Go ahead, Nancy. Say hi to
Hi
everybody.
everybody, how y'all doing?
And y'all already see the thumbnail. You know what we're talking about. We're talking about singing in the friend zone. And you know what I'm talking about singing in the friend zone? I'm talking about history of dudes in the friend zone. So much so that you have superstars and singers singing about being in the friend zone. And a lot of you ladies don't remember too many of these songs because it was just it sound nice and people were just serenading you. So I get it, but I want to go over some of these songs and hopefully what I talk about might bless someone to either remove somebody in the friend zone or find out how they're gonna redo their roster of their friend zone. I don't know, but hopefully it helps somebody. All right, so um,
We gonna
Nan-
start?
Nancy, I want to ask you a question starting out.
Okay.
All right. Have you ever friend zoned anybody?
I have. I've definitely friend zone
So,
three people,
let
two
me
people.
ask you though, was it a friend zone as of um did you friend zone them um on purpose or was it like an accident? Because a lot of things I've been hearing, I'm gonna tell you why I'm asking that so you can go ahead and go with it.
Okay.
Because a lot of times I've been hearing that people women will say that I've been in conversations with will say, they're in the friend zone because they wanted to be there. I didn't really put them there, for whatever reason. They were just hanging around, hanging out, I guess. Is that the case with you? And, when you put somebody in the friend zone, could you say you have put somebody in the friend zone?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that. And how did that person become quote unquote in the friend zone?
I mean, this is somebody who really, really liked me for a really long time.
Mhm.
It was in high school, of course. I mean, we're not that old. We're in our mid-30s, so we've been married for about 10 years. So
Mhm.
it was in high school. He really, really liked me. But I had a boyfriend. I had a boyfriend. And matter of fact, no, he liked me before I had a boyfriend. But I wasn't really he wasn't really like my type in high school. He was a
Okay.
nice guy, he was very sweet. Um, but I wasn't feeling him like that.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, we could be friends. We could be friends. Like I mean, like we
He was a good guy,
yeah,
right?
he was a good
He was
guy.
sweet.
He
He
was.
was a sweetheart.
Yeah, but he just wasn't my type. And he was a little bit on the heavier side at the time. And I wasn't
Mm.
really into big guys.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you had a weight requirement.
I didn't not necessarily. I just wasn't really into big guys. He was a little fluffy, and I
Right.
wasn't really
So
into fluffy men.
so you had a weight requirement that you weren't into.
I didn't realize it, but I think that's what it boiled down to. At that time, I was just like, oh, he's kind of big.
Okay.
And in high school, especially in Brooklyn, New York, you know, it's all about the image, what you
I
wearing,
mean,
who
it's
you
it's
with,
like that everywhere.
kind of, sort of.
I get it. I get it. You wanna have a catch on your arm, men and women alike. I get it.
I mean,
So
okay.
so my next question is how long did this gentleman stay in the friend zone?
He stayed in the friend zone until I want to say until maybe about like 5 years.
About 5 guys. Oh boy, yo, he did a bid, boy. He did a bid, boy.
No,
In
he
the
was
friend
really, really
zone.
into me. Like he was like
Okay.
he became like my best friend. Like we became actually really, really close.
That's interesting. So my thing is you were dating other people in between the 5 years. I'm
No, I
assuming.
dated one person for 5 years.
Okay,
So I gave him a chance
oh,
after I broke me and
you
my.
gotta get you going for the cop for the horse.
Okay.
So he was in there for 5 years.
He was. Okay.
And so after he was in there for five, as he was in there, while he was in there, any relationship problems did you take to him?
I spoke to him about a few things.
Right. You spoke to him about a few things. And then did he try to give you quote unquote relationship advice? Did you talk to him?
I don't remember. To be honest,
with your grievances, some of your grievances?
not that much because I didn't really have a lot of grievances. I mean, I don't really remember. It was such a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really remember, but I know he was like one of my closest friends at that time. I just couldn't have. He couldn't be too close because it was always like.
Of course, yeah, that was
like like
yeah, because especially if you dated somebody,
exactly.
You don't want it to be too weird. So I get that. I understand that. So this is where I turn it to you, ladies. I know you guys have been talking about we're talking about being friend zone, man. Nancy saying that she friend zoned a guy before. This one that she could recall. He did 5 years, hard time.
He could have left though. He could have been like, you know what, I'm not gonna be your friend.
Absolutely, he could have.
But he wanted to stick really close, and I had to be like, yo, bro, like you gotta back up a little bit.
He definitely could have left.
He could have left, but he didn't.
Yeah,
and that's partly on him.
Right.
Saying.
But my question is though, did you make it to where did you tell him as a friend? Because y'all were friends, right?
Yeah.
Did you tell him as a friend there was no way in hell? Did you make that clear so he can leave and move on?
Yeah, I told him that we were not going to date.
You said there's no way in
Peter,
hell.
I don't even speak that way. So why would I say there's no way in hell?
You don't speak like that?
No.
I know you're not country, but in the New York slang, like in the slang.
That was still my friend. So we're just not gonna date. And he knew why we were not gonna date. Like I'm just it's just not like
because he was a little bit too big, that's why y'all wasn't
date. He knew that because he legit lost weight because of me.
You had a man do hard times. Do push-ups in the cell. Go to the yard and go.
He's not watching this. Can you
lift weights? You had that man doing the most in the friend zone. How could you?
I didn't tell him to do all of that.
I know. And some dudes
tell him to move on.
Right. And some dudes will stay in the friend zone for an exorbitant amount of time, and some dudes will do it less because I think what happens is when you get into as a man, I know what it is as a man, but as a man, you get to the friend zone, and especially if you really like that person, you're going to stay as long as you're physically and emotionally able to stay. So a lot of times, if you depending on the dude, if he's real emotionally stable or well, he has emotional endurance, then he'll stay longer than he should. Yeah, that boy stayed long. He stayed real long.
Stay too long.
Yeah. He was tripping on that one.
I wasn't tripping on nothing.
Yeah,
that's my friend.
Well, he was tripping because he could have went on and been great because he was.
He did. He went on when he's with that same person he got with around that time when.
Whoa. We put in the cart before the horse yet. You ain't off the hook yet. You are not off the hook yet. Okay. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about you. And how he was in the friend zone. Did you end up giving him a chance?
I did.
Okay, and how did that happen?
I broke up with my ex. I kind of rebounded, I think.
Also,
I was young.
Was Dennis Rodman.
I was young.
Dennis Rodman.
And I actually I think I noticed that he was a good guy too.
Mm-hmm.
And if I would give anybody a chance, it would be him because he had been my friend for so many years, and
he got rid of that one thing. He lost a little weight. That's how he found out what he stayed there long enough to find out what was his plight. Why you saw him as a friend, other than somebody to be in a romantic relationship. So I get it.
I guess. I mean, looking back, it was really, really superficial. But anyway, We did like date for a little while and then we broke up
Right.
because
Okay. Yeah. I mean, everything will work out. You know, y'all both good peoples, and y'all did work out. You know, every relationship that ends in a breakup doesn't
it
have to
doesn't mean right.
doesn't mean that any party is a bad person.
Hmm.
It's just sometimes some personalities don't gel together. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
just not even personalities. I think our personalities went along really, really
Right.
well.
Or it
It's
could
just
be what you're
other
doing.
things
Yeah,
that, yeah,
you could be doing something going off
yeah,
to school, especially that going off to school
yeah,
in long distance relationships and all
yeah.
kinds. Yeah, a lot of different factors. Yeah, of course, different factors. Yeah, I agree with that. But what I want to talk to you ladies about though is singing in the friend zone, and I got some interesting stuff to talk about. Your boy Bizzle said you you can reach for a mansion and land in a house, or you can reach for the stars and land in the clouds.
Okay.
What's happening when some ladies are they have guys in their friend zone for whatever reason. It's nobody's fault that somebody's in the friend zone. But I want to explain to you from a guy's perspective what it is to be in a friend zone. And my wife is going to explain the woman's side of how people get into the friend zone, what guys can do about that's being friend zone as well.
Okay.
So,
No pressure.
what I'm saying is, a lot of times we have people they're in the friend zone for a reason, and it could possibly be because you're trying to go for the stars, and the friend zone is the clouds. So
Mm.
it's like you're reaching for the stars, but then the friend zone you try to go to the stars, and what happens is because there's stars, everybody wants the stars. You know what I'm saying? Nobody quote unquote want the clouds.
I mean, you were taught to reach for the stars, were you
Right,
not?
right. Reach the stars, right? Reach the
Right.
stars. But see, what happens is when women go out and try to reach for the stars, they're passing up the clouds. And sometimes the dudes that are in their friend zone, it might be something that they don't like. Maybe it's something that they might not be physically attracted to him, or something like in your case, it was his weight. He's just a little bit,
Oh, fluffy.
he was a little too fluffy for your liking, and that's understandable. And he did time and did like you told me he did push-ups, and he got himself right. So I get it. So, but what I do want to talk about the dudes that sing in the friend zone. Ladies, right now, I know you might be looking for a good guy. You might be looking for somebody that's interested in you for real. I know we're supposed to go reach for the stars, but sometimes
Yep.
it's okay to be in the clouds because not everybody's going to have the star. Not everybody's going to have a mansion. So, hey,
Mhm.
we reach for a mansion and land in the house. You see what I'm saying? So, nobody's saying don't reach for the stars, but sometimes we need to come down on some of the things that we're saying that we want in somebody to really find a person um, that's good for you. It's not necessarily he might not be the best or she might not be the best, but it's a person that's good for you.
Mhm.
This is how relationships start. This is how lasting relationships start. Because if you start your relationship off superficial means, then the relationship has to be maintained with superficial means.
That's true.
And so that's what I'm really trying to talk about. But we're gonna go into how these men sing in the friend zone.
Never noticed it either.
And the women, y'all should know that they made hit songs about singing in the friend zone. And then you go to, and I bet y'all didn't know this song from the group Boyz II Men.
What's that?
It's a friend zone song. This is Pass You By. It said, um, she was like nothing I ever known. Her eyes shine like diamonds in the field of snow. Let's stop right there. She was like nothing I ever known. Her eyes shine like diamonds in the field of snow. That means that this man was in awe of her beauty, was in awe of who she was. You see what I'm saying? That means this man was really into her. And a lot of women have dudes in the friend zone that is really into you.
That's
And
true.
they will worship the ground that you walk on. because they're good dudes and they really see you beautiful as a beautiful queen or whatever goddess they be saying goddess now. Whatever. But anyway, so that's what they say now. And so that's what I'm trying to say to you guys. Don't shoot so much for the stars when you miss the clouds. And so let's go on. And this is why I say this is a man singing in the friend zone.
Okay.
He said, 1,000 days have passed. That's how you said, oh boy. That was your boy. More than 1,000 days have passed. He said, 1,000 days have passed and nights go by. I could see the glow slowly fading from her eyes. Look, he saw it going through the pain. You know why he could see the glow slowly fading from her eyes? He used to talk to her.
So close.
He was real close with her. Sometimes he was telling her the grievances of her current relationships with other guys that are doing wrong. And then this guy in the friend zone, he's seeing the light dim in her. She used to be bubbly. She used to be so loving. She used to be so sweet and kind. He's starting to see the dimming of her light.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? And so, I can see the glow slowly fading from her eyes. The dream of happiness led her to believe that her life was feeling now complete.
Hmm.
Don't have to stay with someone that makes you cry. You'll end up killing all the love you have inside. This is a man. He's either singing from him telling you this, and you're ignoring it. You're not taking advice. You're still going out and trying to reach for the star guys instead of listening to the good cloud guys that might be good for you. Everybody's not meant to have a star, but the clouds is nice. That's way up in the sky. You see what I'm saying? Then you got. Let's move on. He says you don't have to stay with someone that makes you cry. You'll end up killing all the love you have inside. He started seeing her love dwindle because of these guys breaking my heart. So now she's gaining insecurity issues, messing with guys and overlooking the guys that are good for her. She's starting to develop insecurity issues, and she's starting trust issues starting to develop. And she's just so innocent, so sweet. Now she's turning a little bit sour towards men. She knows all men at this point. She knows all men are not bad, but she's starting to have a bad taste in her mouth towards men. This is what her friend in the friend zone, which is this guy from Boyz II Men, is singing. He's singing this song. He said, what was the other part? It says, you'll end up killing all the love you have inside. He said, can't hope to see the sun if you don't. To my Christian ladies, can't help to see the sun, S-O-N, not only S-U-N, if you don't open your eyes. Don't let real love pass you by. You see what I'm saying? So he's telling you, don't let real love, he said himself, don't let real love pass you by. Like, I really love you. I really admire you. And instead, you overlooking him. And he's a good guy, because he's in the friend zone. Like I always say, you're not going to keep no dirtbag in the friend zone, right?
That's a fact. Well, I don't think so.
So what do you think, Nancy? We're going to stop here with this song.
I'm actually thinking about that.
What do you think? We're going to go to another song. What do you think about the friend zone? Like a lot of people, I know you online, and I know you see a lot of different things, especially on Instagram. You see how some people say, hey, there's no good man. I've had a lot of we watched a lot of videos with people that be on dating apps and all that. What do you feel about it? Tell the ladies, like, what do you feel about what you've been seeing? And about the situation, about what's happening. Why they're not getting good success in relationships?
I need you to be a little bit more specific.
What's your take on what you're observing? Like, you've seen a lot of women come out saying, man, I'm not getting good success, but there's good guys out here.
I do. I don't know. I think a lot of it is that we're superficial. I think a lot of it is just not knowing what to look for, or not realizing that the things that we see or that we want right now is not necessarily what's going to keep us or the things that we're going to want later on. Um, and then it's like, who are we learning from? Like, who's showing us, what we should be looking for? Who's showing us what's going to be like what you're going to be looking for in 10 years, 15, 20 years, like we're looking for longevity, not just for surface things or the things that are catching our eye at the moment. Because that gets old. Honestly, that gets old. You might look good today, and who knows what can happen to you tomorrow. Or you might be looking good now, and like in the next 10, 15 years, who knows what he's going to look like.
Right.
So it's like a lot of the times the men who are friend zoned, they are the men that actually we are like, end up, like if we end up getting married to somebody and having a good relationship with them, that's the person. Their qualities, the things that are in them are the actual things that we needed and just didn't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this because I know it's a little early to say this because I have another thing I want to talk about, but I really need to say this.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is from a guy's perspective. I'm not coming from the lady's perspective. I'm coming from the guy's perspective. When you're in the friend zone, you're in a position to see, especially if you're a close friend with the lady, you're able to see what's going on in her current relationships because she might call and say, oh, because for the most part she want emotional male attention, so she call her her male friend in the male in the friend zone and will say, hey, he's doing this, he's doing that, and I get it, and then you starting to see it, but after a while, if that man stays long enough in the friend zone, it's a possibility that he'll start losing respect for you. Because he's starting to see you damage yourself with these guys that keep damaging you and keep hurting you. And then even though he gives you advice and say, hey, this type of guys might not be good for you. You see what I'm saying?
So what's causing him to lose respect? Is it the fact that she's allowing these men to do this to her? Or is it the fact that because of those experiences that she's had with those men, she's no longer the same person that he knew before?
It could be
which one is it?
It could be a little bit of both.
Okay.
Just depending on the man.
Okay.
If something it might affect him. And I'm not saying this is for everybody. Just depend on their emotional endurance with people. Everybody don't have the same emotional endurance. So when you talking to a man and he's your friend and you're telling him all these dudes that's doing you wrong and how they're doing wrong, and he, especially if he gave you good advice and you ignored it, you're back here again. And so now it's kind of like, see, like, I'm gonna tell you a personal story. Like I remember, I only been in the friend zone one time.
That you know of?
No, once. I did it one time, and I wasn't hurt about it. I was real cool with the girl. How we got cool is because I was trying to come at her in a romantic type of way. I was in 10th grade in high school. That's the first and last time I was in the friend zone because I was like, that's what friend zone is for the streets. And nobody should be there. You see what I'm saying? Well, nobody should be there with an exorbitant amount of time. You're still a good friend. You still want to look out for that person, but you can't let it be at a detriment to yourself.
I agree.
I'm telling the fellas this right now. Don't let it be leave her. Leave her friend zone immediately. Go be great without her. She don't see that you're great, sir. Go be great without her. She will find her way. Hopefully, you can't live other people's lives for them. So you can give her good advice for the time you're in the friend zone, but if you see it's not going nowhere, bro, just go and be great. And if it's true, quote unquote, meant to be, it'll come back around. But hey, if it's not, you know what I'm saying? Go be great because you could be missing out on somebody that you actually supposed to be with.
That's true.
Too.
That's a fact.
So both parties, gotta kind of correct that. And I'm saying, ladies you gotta kind of you gotta make it clear that hey, this will never work. So he can kind of be free. You kind of let him free. Or at least give him the opportunity to let free, because what he's doing is he's trying to come to you. He's trying to show consistency. And this is why the songs are important. Because what's happening is you calling him and he's saying, I'm that guy for you. But you keep telling me, let's go to the next one.
All right, go ahead.
The next song is, and these are men singing in the friend zone. Next song is Just a Friend, 2002, Mario. We got to pray for Mario because Mario be in the friend zone. He had 2 hit songs.
Not anymore. He ain't. You think he's still in the friend zone?
I don't know, man. I haven't heard
Because
none
he
of
grew up.
this stuff.
He's matured.
I haven't heard any recent stuff, so he might have a friend zone song that y'all probably ain't catch. But his first 2 like major like album hits were friend zone songs.
Okay.
So maybe they had a problem with his nose flaring when he sung. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I mean, come on.
I don't know.
Are you saying that every man that's in the friend zone can potentially be a good guy? Like, I think that's where I kind of get confused sometimes. Like, not all the men that are in the friend zone are necessarily men that you should give a chance to, right?
Well, this is what I'm saying. The men that you have around you, they're not bad men, because no lady, and I'm gonna say this, no lady that is respectable.
Okay, let's make sure we put those words in there.
That's respectable, because some people are glad for punishment.
Okay.
So no lady that's respectable will have will have somebody like that that's their friend. They won't have like a jerk that's a friend. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They won't have somebody that treat girls wrong as a friend. You know what I'm saying? Per se.
Not someone who's respectable.
Right. They if you're gonna be my close friend, you're gonna be a good person.
Okay.
Like, I'm not gonna have bad people around me. Like people that's just shoot, half the time some girls don't even want to have a friend that look ugly. Let's be honest. They don't even want a friend that's ugly. So he's either gonna look okay, presentable, but just maybe not your cup of tea physically, but he is gonna be a good person. So I'm not saying every dude in your friend zone is a person that you should try to be with.
Okay.
I'm saying that if you're looking for a good person, possibly
he might be in your friend zone. Okay.
Give that guy a chance. Look past whatever it is. Look past, like it's Mario. Look past his nose flaring up when he's singing. Look beyond his fault. And see his need. You feel me? So let's go on with the song.
What is it?
So it says, I want to know your name, and I want to know if you got a man. I want to know your number, and if I can come over, and I want to know what you like. I want to know so I can do it all night. But you're telling me I'm just a friend. You're telling me I'm just a friend. See, that's all right. Now you get inside it. That's all. You get inside that song's a jam. But what I'm saying is, he said, let's go back. I want to know your name, and I want to know if you got a man. So you know he was trying to come at you in a romantic way. It wasn't just, oh, let's hang out. You seem like a cool chick. Let's hang out. We're cool. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know up front that he was coming to you in a romantic way. So on top of that, what happens is you got then he said, I want to know your number, and if I can't come over, and I want to know what you like. I want to know so I can do it all night. But you're telling me I'm just a friend. You're telling me I'm just a friend. So you go into the chorus. Oh baby, you got what I need. You got what you got what I need. So I'm getting my needs met. But you say I'm just a friend. But you say I'm just a friend. Cause I can be your fantasy. So stop right there. He said he's willing to be your fantasy. He do what it takes for you. You're like the most beautiful thing he will say. So he will give, and like he worshiping the ground that you walk on.
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
I think what happens sometimes are the guys who are like so desperate like that. Like they're like, oh, I just want to worship the ground you walk on. I want to drink your bath water. Like, it's like, you know, like that could be kind of like a turnoff almost.
Right, I get it.
You know?
Yeah,
I mean, if you get all those, like, that's the kind of guy you actually want.
Right.
I mean, you need balance. But I think sometimes it depends on who you are and maybe your age.
Me too.
That can be like a turn off. And that's why a lot of times the men that are in the friend zone are usually those guys who are like, I will worship the ground that you walk on.
Right. But I think when you first meet somebody, right? What about those guys that you first meet and you just kind of getting to know them and
Hmm.
you see that they're good people, man? They're
Okay,
good
there's a lot
people.
of good people out here.
You know what I'm saying? They
There's
come
a
from
lot of
good
good.
spot, like they look like, hey man, they probably do me good, but hey, I'm not attracted because a lot of things I've been seeing online, and
Chemistry.
the women are saying this, and I'm seeing it online. And I've talked to women on my actual page about this. They say, well, we got to be sexually attracted to them too. So
Yeah,
it's also
yeah,
sexual attraction
yeah,
too.
of course.
So what right, and I get that, but that's what I'm saying. Could it possibly be that you if he changed certain things, or if he quote unquote you know how they have makeovers and they start to learn how to dress better.
Come on, build a
You know what
man.
I'm saying? Well, I'm just saying the parts you might not like, he might could do it. He might is willing. At least, give it a chance. Let's go further. This is what I'm saying. He said, girl, I got you, but you say I'm just a friend. I could be your fantasy, but you say I'm just a friend. And then let's go to the next part.
What?
Go to the next part. Let's go to the bridge. Give me one reason why you wouldn't want this type of guy. Cause
I stay.
I stay late, and and I know I'm fly.
Girl, stop playing games with me. Let's get
this
this on tonight.
Listen, you got nothing to lose.
You got
You got
nothing
nothing to lose.
to lose.
Let me
do
do what I
do,
do,
baby.
baby. You
Got what
take it away. Got what I need.
But you say I'm just a friend.
What
But you say I'm just a friend.
cause I can be a fantasy.
Yeah.
You say I'm just a friend.
Say I'm just
You
a
say I'm just a
friend.
friend. But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's singing to you. He's letting you know, hey man, look, I can be your fantasy. So it's just like
Yeah.
I think what you're saying, Nancy, is right. I think part of it is that ladies think that they can do better, per se.
Okay.
They think that they can do better than that dude that's in the friend zone. But he's good enough to be in the friend zone because he's good enough for male emotional attention.
Okay. And we're specifically talking to the women who are not having success with the men that they actually choose to date. We're not talking about everybody who has
and they got guys they have guys that are lingering in the friend zone. I'm not saying they making them linger. I'm
right.
saying that they got guys that's lingering in the friend zone and they do value their friendship.
Okay.
But because whatever relationship they're going through, they calling this guy about it. And they get that emotional support, male support that they should be getting with their quote unquote boyfriend or whoever they're in a romantic relationship.
But he ain't doing it.
Right. Or whatever, or he just doing stupid stuff. He wilding out, cheating on her, whatever the case may be. She had a bad experience with that person. She's calling her friend and the friend zone that really likes her more than just a friend.
Because he wants to give her.
He wants to give her everything. He wants to be her fantasy. Just like Mario's song. And I'm trying to think about what girl was doing this to Mario during the time he was writing these songs, or whoever wrote these songs for him.
Right.
This hits home, and I want to sing.
You gotta think about that time too. You know what I'm saying? Like what's the audience, the group, the age group around that time? Like we were in high school, and you're falling in love, and then you out of love, and it's puppy love, and then there was Chris Brown coming out with, I remember all them albums because I was listening to I think it was called, it was a radio station I used to listen to all the time. And it was like a bunch of love songs. And I mean, we were too young to even really understand what any of that stuff was.
I remember, let me tell you about my, while I'm looking this up, let me tell you about my friend zone experience. I mean, I did tell you that I was in the friend zone temporarily at one time.
Yeah, you told me.
And that was that one and only time. Your boy after that never was in the friend zone. It's not like I had a bad experience in the friend zone, but I just realized,
just like, listen, you don't want me back.
Right, it was more of like, I'm not staying around to be kind of like your plaything.
Yeah. I don't even see you really doing that because you just.
That's for the birds. I was actually just being child in high school. And my dad, you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, my dad told me straight up, he was like, Peter, why are you on the phone with someone with her? And I went and listened to him.
Really?
No, I went and listened to him because I was.
So he knew that she friend zoned.
Well, no. Well, he was just saying you talking with her too much. Like you ain't supposed to talk with her that much, and he just on the phone.
So he didn't know that she friend zoned you?
No,
so why were you saying that?
he was just saying like even he was just like that. He was just like
As a mature, the Caribbean man, you think maybe he
no,
came from that place?
I don't know. I don't know what it was, but he was just saying
Maybe
like
he knew she was trying to play.
I mean, no, but in general, he was like that. Like if I was talking to a girl and we was kids, we couldn't see each other and just be around each other all the time.
Right.
So the only way was to be on the telephone
Right.
and talk to them on the phone. So even if I was like dating a girl, I would talk to them on the phone
Mm-hmm.
and I would talk to them for like hours.
Right. I mean,
You know
I feel like we all did
And
that
my
when
dad
we
was
that.
like, no, son, you shouldn't be talking on the phone with girls for hours.
Oh,
I don't know for what reason he really explained to me. He just told me I shouldn't be.
maybe you should ask him.
I don't know. That's probably enough time for another time. But yeah, but I was my one and only time I was in the friend zone was 10th grade, and I ain't gonna say no names because yeah, I ain't gonna say no names. But what I would say this is that I was there, and it wasn't a bad experience, but I'm too real to be. That's what it is. I'm too real to be in the friend zone.
Yeah.
Because I will tell you the truth.
And then you won't be my friend.
Right.
If you come up to me, you got to go too, bro.
Right. I was too real. In 10th grade, I was there.
We're not gonna be. First of all, you was real when you was 4 years old.
I told the teacher when I was when I was 5. I said to the teacher that I told everybody about Santa Claus and I was disputing, and the teacher was just there like laughing, like giggling, and holding her mouth, and I could just see her in the corner of her eyes. I destroyed Christmas for everybody that year. I tell them the truth about Santa Claus. This is your parents. Your parents love you, and so they bought all these gifts for you.
Like, who's
Santa did it. I said, no. Think about it. All these they went around the whole world and dropped down.
You were destroying dreams.
Yes, I was because I told the truth.
Even
as a kid, my parents didn't hide me from the truth. Like they told me straight up. Like as a kid, like I remember like being like 5 or 6 and watching Malcolm X, Denzel Washington. And I got in trouble with that movie too because there were some things I didn't understand. And then when I did at school, they told my parents had to explain some things of what Malcolm X was actually saying. But I told the truth straight up. I ain't sure going on. I'm still like that to the day. So when people say, "Hey, man, you telling too directly," trust me, no.
He's been this way all his life.
I've been this way all my life, and I'm not telling too much of a direct truth. Trust me. Like there's some things that I'm kind of like leaving it out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really coming direct because I can't come direct. That's my nature. That's who I am as a person. You don't know me personally, you won't know that's who I am. That's how I talk.
All the time.
All the time. There's times where I can, but after a while, I'm gonna say what I feel. I'm gonna say the truth. So this is what I told her, and when I was in the friend zone with her, and I told the girl, I said, she was telling me, "Oh well, I was with, I'm not with him anymore." Because this how I got in the friend zone. I'm gonna tell you how I got there.
Tell us.
I was trying to talk to her, and when I was talking to her, I told her, I said, yeah, I'm trying to get you. What I'm saying? I want to know if you got a man. I did that whole spiel. And she was telling me, no, I'm not with so and so anymore, but he's still lingering around, whatever. And who knows what they were doing? You know what I'm saying? But I was like, okay, well, would you make sure, you make sure everything gets seared off. I know you're not with him anymore, but I'm here, I want to be next up at the back. You know what I'm saying? I literally was telling her,
you was waiting your turn?
I was waiting my turn. I was like, but she was in between, so she was like, I don't want to get in a relationship right away because it made it look like that after that relationship, I was already planning to go with you.
Right.
So I was there. I was like, okay, cool. I understand that. So I'm there. She's telling me that he's trying to call her, talk about certain things. So she's telling me all
Why
this.
is she telling you this stuff though?
Because we're friends though. Like we're friends. Like I'm really friendly. I am really friendly, but I'm gonna be a true friend. I'm gonna really tell you the truth when it's time to tell the truth. And that's what kind of will turn people off because I'm just too truthful with people.
That's why you with me because
Yeah. Right. Right. So that's what happened.
Cookie.
I was really truthful. And so long story short, I told her she was it was several times when she was like, well, I'm walking in class, he's trying to walk me to class all the time. And I tell him not to, but then I let him.
I'm just like, you let him.
10th grade though, Peter.
I'm just like,
10th
I'm
grade.
just like, can you take another?
Baby.
I asked her several times. I'm
Baby.
like, can you take another route? She's like, yeah, I can take another route. And then I said, okay. And then we tried. Guess what? She didn't take the other route. She still continued.
Because she wanted to be around him.
No, but she complained. This is what she was complaining about. She was complaining about, oh, everybody's telling me they think we're still together, and I want them to think that. I said, well, you got to take a different route, so they won't think that. You got to get away from him. And then she was like, you're right, Peter, you're right. And I said, all right. And so I'll see her in school, and then same thing. And then she'll call me later on that day. Oh, you know, people talking. They just
This girl was attention.
So what I told her in that after several times of that, I told her, I said, you know what? You stupid. Call stupid. Call stupid. That was the truth. If you think you're gonna do the same old, and think the different results will follow, that's insanity. My dad taught me that since I was a little kid. It's the definition of insanity. And so I told her straight up, you stupid. She was like, what? She like, she started fussing me out. Of course, you know, that's gonna come on. That's just the truth. Shame and all guilty. Right. Even at that tender age of what, 15, 16 in the 10th grade. And then
15, 16.
She hung up with me. She hung up with me.
She hung up with you?
She hung up on me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she hung up with me. Like when we were talking on the phone.
Oh, okay.
And then then her cousin called me. I ain't gonna say no name. But her cousin called me and said, why are you talking to my cousin like that? Oh, so her cousin started fussing. I said, I'm just telling her the truth. She's stupid. She thinking, and I'm trying to tell her the situation like, yo, you calling me every day. I don't want to hear that. Like, and you're telling me what's going on and I can't be truthful to you. I told you ways that you could do it and you agreed. And you said, yeah. And then you didn't even implement it. And then you want me to still be here. I don't.
So you got salty. You sound like you were a little.
I didn't get salty. What I was saying is, why you back here complaining to me about the same thing that we already discussed, and I already gave you a solution that you agreed to do. Remember, you want to be with me, so you wanted.
Oh, she wanted to be with you.
She wanted to be with me.
Oh, you left that out.
That's what I'm saying. She wanted to be with me.
So were you friend zoned? She wanted to be with you.
But she put me in the friend zone long enough to do what? You don't know if they was.
See, that's a whole different story, then, Peter. That's a whole different. If she wanted to be with you and friends with you, I would have been upset too.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's what I'm saying. So like, I'm just sitting around like, hey, you know, I know you don't want to make it because I want to respect you. I don't want you to look like you were playing him to be with me. Because then we walk together and everybody talking junk. So you need to have a period of time of where you separate with that man so they know, oh, they broken up. It's fair game. And all of a sudden she started to see Peter on the arm. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that was the whole thing. And that was the whole idea. And I think it escalated from there. Because then her cousin started doing the smear campaign. And I was just so good for it. I remember doing those guys.
Yeah, I
was singing a song.
That was smear campaign.
Yo, that was when.
Real, bro.
That was when the Genuine album came out. What album was that? It's not the senior album. That was later on. The album before the senior album where he had "Girl, I Know Your Pain and It Hurts So Deep." I've been there before.
I don't know that one.
But baby, you will see that we all been hurt.
Okay, maybe do that.
Better to have love than not have love at all. And then I used to be singing this part. Girl, I know what you feeling deep inside. It will all fade away. Baby, it will pass you by.
Oh, you was hurt.
No, I was playing that while we was talking on the phone.
Oh, okay.
She was telling me how her relationship with him was. You know how when you first start a relationship, sometimes you tell how stuff you've been through, especially when you're young like that. Tell all the secrets,
everything.
So,
too much,
right? And we on the hours on the phone. What else we gonna talk about? We gonna listen to each other be like this. No, we ain't gonna do that. We gonna talk about stuff. So she talked about stuff he did wrong. And he hurt her. He actually played her to a certain extent. And
Poor thing.
So I used to play that. I was already playing that album. And I was like, oh, this is perfect song for the time. So
He's
we
a
used to
hopeless
sing it.
romantic.
Yeah, I was hopeless romantic.
Yeah.
But like I said,
What happened?
but I was very true. I was very truthful. Very truthful. I'm very truthful. That's just me. So y'all be talking about Peter, you need to start, being different than who I am. That's who I am. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That's just my personality. I'm not.
But you have a great heart, though. You have a heart of gold.
Right.
Like you love
Because I
people.
think
You love
telling
girls
people
with
the
a heart.
truth is the best thing you can
It's
do
a
for
part.
them.
It's a part of love, though.
Even if it takes them rejecting
part of
you
love.
as a person.
Right.
Because
Maybe how you say it might not be how people will want to hear it.
right.
But if they know your heart,
And that's
I
maybe.
think that
And that's a big
that's a big maybe.
Right, that's a big maybe because
But
it don't matter what how
at
you
the
say
same
truth
time,
sometimes.
the heart, like it's like sometimes how we talk to our children. We tell them some things that they might not necessarily like,
Right.
but we love our children, and they know that we love them. They know that we love them.
Right.
So they receive it. You should receive it in love. But I think a big part of it is understanding who that person is.
Yeah, she had me in the friend zone too long, so I end up leaving that. I ain't staying there too long, so I'm glad with that, and we moved on, and I'm not bitter about it. I was just like, well, you expect me not to tell you the truth. I've been telling the truth this whole time. So
You call somebody stupid, they're not gonna take that well.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
It's kind of being that. And if
Yeah,
I did,
but you were
upset.
You were upset also.
But even if I did that, no, I wasn't upset. I said it real regular.
Oh, you said
I didn't say you were stupid. I didn't
how
go.
you say it?
I said,
oh, you're stupid.
I said, man, you stupid.
Oh,
like I'm saying, no, I just said what was on my mind. I said
I
the truth.
understand.
Like, because if I said, man, if I tell somebody, if somebody come to me and I do something crazy, they're like, man, that's dumb. People do that. I don't get mad. They say it's dumb.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you think it's dumb? Boom, we'll go about the business. What's so dumb about it?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, explain. It ain't that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you think what I said is stupid or dumb, or you think I'm stupid? Why do you think I'm stupid? What's so stupid about what I'm doing? And because the problem is the truth. She knew she was being stupid.
I understand that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was being there for her. And I was like, you think, and it was almost like saying, you think I'm going to be stupid with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was almost like me saying that, but she was like, I'm expecting you to be stupid with me.
Right. At that point, because it almost felt like you were like on, like you were there and like whatever, ride or die, like, I'm gonna stay here. If you want me, you want me. If you don't, you don't. Like it almost felt like
right.
But
she was. I didn't want her to get used to that feeling,
right?
Because then she'll keep me there.
Yeah, there's a possibility.
Right, it's a possibility. Or she would. It would have been like, I'm a kid in high school. You think I want to stay here and just be chilling right here?
No. Especially not in high school.
Man,
especially not in high school. Don't even start. Don't even start.
I was highly recommended in high school.
Were you? Don't even start. You from Camden, so I understand, baby.
Man, whatever. I was in New York City.
Oh boy, bye.
Man, stop.
Boy,
man,
bye.
Listen,
you was in New York City and
I would have listen.
And what happened?
I couldn't, because I'll be a sinner. It's too many temptations up there. I thank God for letting me grow in the South. Thank you.
You from Camden County, bro.
Thank you.
Nothing on Camden County. I know y'all need love too, whatever, but it's not,
Thank you, Jesus, that I grew up in the South. Because if I grew up in a city like New York, I promise you, I would. It'd be too tempting, too easy to be how men could be. Too easy.
It's a lot of men.
You know what I could?
A lot of people.
Because the boroughs are so separated but so close at the same time.
Yeah.
Man, I probably had a chicken every borough.
I was a kid and I would get on the bus, get on a train. I can go wherever I wanted to go.
In high school, I would have had a chicken every borough.
But you're not even that type of guy, Peter.
I'm not that type of guy.
That's what I'm saying. So that's kind of like, you're not even that type of guy.
I'm not that type of guy. I really ain't. I'm really not.
You're not.
But that's what I'm saying. But it was so much peer pressure. I might have tried to be that type of guy.
Yeah.
Season or for a year or for 3 months, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I thank God because that pressure wasn't on me, where I was at, because it wasn't that much temptation. But I wasn't going to stand there, and I was highly recommended. The boy was highly recommended in school.
I mean, you fine.
I had plenty of people that want to fight me.
Good looking guy.
Because it was like, you I ain't gonna say that loud. But
Peter, move on, boo. Move on. I know you feeling yourself. Move on.
I would definitely highly recommend it in high school. But I would say this. Let's move on to the last song. And we talking about, once again, we talking about singing in the friend zone. A lot of people they're missing out on possible good people in the friend zone. And I just want to encourage somebody. I know you might be having a tough time during your dating, but guess what? It's on you to manage who you're talking to. So you might have a friend zone roster. Look at your roster. You might need to pull somebody off the bench.
Okay.
You might need to pull somebody off your friend zone and say, "Hey, let me give my friend zone a chance," and it might change your life. Just give
Amen. Amen.
pick one.
You know what? I just thought about it.
Right.
If you and I weren't like where we were at the time that we met one another, I probably would have friend zoned you too. You laughing. Because you were so pure. You know what I mean? Like, think about the church. Sometimes we want the bad guys. We want the guys who are like,
Man, listen,
we want the church guys. We want the guys like, I'm into worship. I'm into God. I love Jesus. So, like, even in the church, sometimes we're attracted to what we shouldn't have or what we shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I probably would have friend zoned you because you was pursuing God so much. Babe, you understand what I'm saying? No, you gonna laugh?
I don't understand what you're saying.
You don't?
Listen, you would have been one bad lady to friend zone me because I don't stay there.
Okay, so I guess we wouldn't have been friends.
Right. So it
wouldn't happen. We just wouldn't have been friends.
Thank God that God allowed us to see each other at the time we saw each other and we started courting
immediately. So like it was like that's it. Like we together.
Right. So yeah, we ended up going through marital counseling and trying to do it the right way. But things happen from time to time and ups and downs regardless.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. Our relationship by far.
Yeah. Been through a lot.
We've been through a lot, but hey, we still standing.
Yeah, because we stand because our foundation is Christ. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anybody else has to say. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
Got a good foundation.
We have a good foundation. It's on Christ and what God puts together.
So I would say this, though.
No man can put us under.
Right, and you know what? I would say this. Don't look at our relationship as a perfect, something that's perfect.
Far.
It's far from it. But what happens is we understand we have a good foundation, and that's Christ. We were Christians. We believe in Jesus Christ.
And we believe in purpose. We believe in purpose. Making sure that we put God back in the center of everything that we do.
We understand what marriage is. We know it's not a fairy tale thing. We know that it's about our purpose to our family, seeing our generations when we get older, and making sure that our generations get brought up right, so the next generation can be better than the last.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We understand the purpose. We understand that our life is to give, not to just take.
Take.
We have to give to our kids in the proper way. We're supposed to make sure we give the next generation as grandparents and showing that we are a team, we're working together, even though the team might sometimes, fall out. Sometimes the team might get in arguments. Sometimes, but we know that hey, we're a team at the end of the day. And look, we both franchise players. We ain't going nowhere.
Right. Yeah.
That's a dig at LeBron James, but whatever.
Are you still doing this? Lord.
We are franchise players. We know that we're not gonna give up. We're gonna give everything we have.
Yeah.
Because we have a good foundation. And
I don't see we could do without Christ. We just it wouldn't work without him being at the center of it all and being our foundation.
You gotta have a good foundation.
You gotta go back.
Relationships need good foundation. It needs solid foundation. It doesn't need superficial foundations. That's why a lot of people get divorced.
Yeah.
It's superficial. A lot of it superficial. Some of it is just endurance. It's mental endurance. But
that's a lot, man.
But what I'm saying is a lot of it is superficial. It's for the wrong reasons. It's like the top thing is money. You know what I'm saying? The top reason for divorce is money, finances. That's the number one reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most superficial thing that you can put up there.
Well, you know what? I think that's what I'm saying. It's about your foundation, though.
But see, what I'm saying is it says for better, for worse, for richer, or for poorer. Why is money at the top of the list? But guess what? You know what someone pointed out to me the other day?
I mean,
you know what someone pointed out to me?
What's that?
I know you need money to do stuff.
Right.
I get that. But somebody pointed out to me, said, happiness is not in the vows. The word happiness.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Wow. I never really, I said my vows, but I didn't really understand. I understood I meant what I was saying, but I never realized happiness wasn't even in them. So a lot of times, and then I think the next one or the third one on the list is irreconcilable differences. That means irreconcilable. I'm saying it wrong.
What are you
But
saying?
you know what I mean. Irreconcilable differences.
Oh, okay.
And so that's pretty much I ain't happy for the most part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we just couldn't get things together. We couldn't be happy together.
Are we willing to make those
Right.
changes for one another?
Right.
You know? Is it worth it? Is it worth me putting
Right.
in? And like just like my dad, I was talking to my dad the other day, and he went into he was like, if you bite your tongue while I think if you bite your tongue, are you going to like cut it out? And I was like, no, it's gonna heal.
Right.
And he was like, it's the same thing in marriage. Like just because this person does something you don't like necessarily, you don't just throw them away. You work on it.
Right. Exactly.
You know? And I was like, that's good, Dad.
Yeah.
That's so good.
And I think what happens is it's we just need to realize that lasting relationships has to be on the foundation that is not ourselves. It's easy to be selfish.
Yeah, absolutely. That's natural. That's human nature.
That's the most easiest thing to do is to be selfish.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I hope somebody gets something from what we just said. I mean, we're not here to talk about marriage.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about swinging in the friend zone. So let's go through this last thing and we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
But that was good though. That was good that you said that about your dad. All right, so the last one.
What's the last one?
Swinging in the friend zone is by the same person.
Oh.
Mario. So somebody still having a problem with his nose flaring up what he's saying.
Oh gosh. Or them braids.
But no, at this time.
At the time he had braids, right?
Yeah, but no, at this time he didn't have braids.
He didn't?
No, he was stepping in his grown
man, yeah.
But he was still struggling with the friend zone. Somebody tell me, how did he get out of the friend zone? I want to know that story. We need to
Google it.
We need to interview Mario. But see, a lot of people this song is disguised as something else. People don't know that it's a friend zone song.
Okay, what is it?
The song is "Let Me Love You." It says, "Baby, I just don't get it. Do you enjoy being hurt? I know you smell the perfume, the makeup on his shirt." How you know that? Because he's been telling you. He was cheating on me. I even smell perfume, makeup on the shirt. You don't believe his stories. You know that they're all lies. Bad as you are, you stick around. And I just don't know why.
If I was your man,
baby, you
never worry about
what I do.
I'll be coming home back to you every night, doing you right.
You know what I'm saying? So he was talking about, he was talking about being in the friend zone and what he was hearing from the girl. Because every night, doing you right, you're a type of woman that deserves good things. Fistful of diamonds, handful of rings. Stop right there. Handful of rings. He will marry you. He will get that what you need.
Yeah.
He said, you should let me love you. Let me be the one to
give you everything you want and need. Baby, good love and protection. Make me your selection. Show you the way love's supposed to be.
Yeah, right.
Baby, you should let me love you, love you, love you, love you.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm a music guy. I'm that guy that's in the car, and I'll turn the music up loud and have the windows down, and I'm driving the side singing the song while I'm in the car. And
we got separate cars.
See, listen, I'm that type of guy. Music is my thing. That's what I love. That music gets me. If you want me to settle down, put on some good music.
Settle down?
Yeah, settle down just a little bit. Just a little bit.
That's funny.
You know what I'm saying? Put on some good music. But yeah, And so that's what he was talking about. It's a
Mhm.
friend zone song. A lot of people didn't know that this is a friend zone song. He knows all the deep the relationship that she's going to that's not being with him. He's saying you should let me love you. Let
Mm.
me be the one to give you everything that you want and need. He said, man, I'm willing to supply your wants and needs.
I mean, he ain't
So,
God.
but what I'm saying is he has the he's trying to show you that, and that's what I'm trying to say. Men will stay in the friend zone for this reason and this reason only.
What?
Only
What?
initially. This reason only if they're pure,
Okay.
if their intentions are pure.
Mm-hmm.
They will stay in the friend zone because they're trying to show you that I can be there for you emotionally,
But baby, you should let me love you.
right? And that you should you should let them love you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to show you I'm consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there when you need me.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? I will stop what I'm doing and come to you.
Do you think that women know that though? Do you think that when that
think
happens, they are aware that this guy is trying
They
to
know.
prove himself to be
They
worthy
They
of
know.
being with her?
But see the
Peter,
problem.
honestly, I didn't even know that.
Listen,
I don't think it's something that's in the forefront of your mind.
I think some women know. I think some women.
Older
Women are
women,
not
once you
stupid,
get to I think a point in your life when you are mature enough to see that, then I think that you know. But I think sometimes you don't know. You think this guy is okay just being your friend.
but he originally didn't want to be your friend. And see, and that's why I say it's so good to know from a man's perspective.
It
Because
is.
it can help you navigate
It is.
men better.
It is because if you're learning from women,
Mhm.
what men want, to me that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right. 'Cause you don't really know what men want to a certain extent.
And a lot of times men are not really saying it.
Right? Because
They're not saying like, because honestly, as a woman, if you friend zone me, I'm out. I'm not staying in your corner.
you kind of get shamed for
I'm moving on.
telling you what from our perspective.
All right, Pete.
You've been seeing it.
I'm seeing it now.
Right. You're starting to see it now.
Yeah, because again, this is because we've had years and years of being programmed into thinking one thing, and now somebody else is trying to come and tell us something completely different.
Right.
It's like, no, you have to be wrong.
Right.
You know, who wants to believe that all these years they thought they were doing the right thing, and now you come in and saying it's something completely different?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to just receive it. It's not going to be, they're not going to be receptive to what you're saying immediately.
Yeah, and even it doesn't matter how you say it too. Because if you think if it goes against your thought process, your current thought process, it don't matter if you say it sweet to them. It don't matter. Like, no, I still don't believe that. You can say it as nice as you want. It's not.
That's true. It depends. It depends.
You can say it as sweet as candy, but just I still don't believe it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think in certain situations, yes, I agree.
Right.
I do.
Right, and I can agree with that in certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
But the situations that what I'm saying is more common.
Okay.
You know, because it's a shock, and I call it.
It is.
I call
it
it delusional withdrawal. That's what it is. You had
you named it anything else.
It's a delusion.
It's a delusion.
Yeah, because you thought something that wasn't true, or you thought something incorrectly, and now the person's trying to teach you how to see correctly. Now you're having withdrawals and say, no, this I thought it was this. It's delusion withdrawals. You having withdrawals is almost like, you taking, drugs and you have a withdrawal. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to take you off the drugs, so you have withdrawals because your body's so used to a certain way. So that's the perfect name for it.
Okay.
Delusion withdrawal. Do you agree?
I wouldn't use those words, but I understand. See how that works?
I'll take the understanding.
I understand.
What I need from you is understanding. Y'all think music do be good, boy. You put me the right now. Say it. You want to change my mood? Play some good music. But yeah, but yeah, a lot of people didn't know that this song was a friend zone song. So I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you, ladies, we're gonna close this.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up.
We're gonna wrap it up because I'm gonna tell you. This is what I want to tell you. It's possible that the guy that is good for you is in the friend zone. If you can get past whatever it is that person had that caused you to put that man into the friend zone.
Okay.
If you can get past that initial putting him in the friend zone, whatever that is that makes you put him there. Because they get put there, they don't go there. No, you're not gonna allow anybody to be your close friend without your consent. You put him there. And so, because if he has the decision after that, hey, do I want to stay there?
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to leave, or do I want to stay for whatever reason? A lot of it is to show, hey, but you got to be careful though. If you keep that man in the friend zone too long, he might start losing respect for you because he's starting to see all the bad relationships you've been through. He starts seeing how you becoming a different person,
Mm.
and he might start losing respect for you as a person if you do it too long. And then if you end up giving him a chance, depending on the man and depending how long you left him in the friend zone, he might just hit it and go about his business.
So was he ever a nice guy to begin with?
No, because at the moment, what happens is what people don't realize, women don't realize that men see women first. They don't know women first. Just like women do. They see men. They be like, oh, he's attractive. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They say that, and dudes be like,
Mm-hmm.
why do you think dudes break their neck when women pass by just to see if they have a nice behind?
Mm-hmm.
We see women first.
Mm-hmm.
Our physical attraction is almost number one. They number one
It is.
because we're visual creatures.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Emotions, we do. We love emotions and everything else that women like too when it comes to quote unquote romantic relationship. But that's what I'm saying. We see you first, so you're sexually attractive 1st with
Mhm.
us. A lot of times it takes a woman their second thing on the list, depending on the guy. The second thing, tell me if I'm wrong.
Mhm.
Second thing on the list might be sexual attraction. You see what I'm saying? Oh,
Okay.
does he treat me right, or is he a good listener? Whatever. You might have different stuff, but your number one is not necessary. It depends on the person.
It depends on that person.
Right. Right. But for most part with guys, because we're sexual creatures, and this is a science, that we see visual
Mm-hmm.
first. And so we're sexually attracted first. So the dude will stay in the friend zone, they really like you. And they be like, man, I really like her. She changed. I could they don't even know that they lost respect. It's almost a subconscious thing. And then so now they had to work so hard to get to the promised land. And the other guys, they didn't have to work so hard to get to the promised land. You were just giving it away, because you were sexually attracted to them and whatnot.
Hmm.
So now the guys seeing that, and they know that you're doing that because they've been your friend. And so when they get it, they be like, man, she's not even the same. Or I don't want to stay around. This is what I was staying around for. You know what I'm saying? They might think that they might have buyer's remorse. They might have friend zone remorse.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so they go about their business and they say, you know what? I respect you. I know we did this, but I just can't get past some things or whatever. And then you've been done wrong again. You're gonna chop it down. For the most part, I've been done wrong again. And so now you go back out in the dating world, and now you have a seared image of men in your mind when you're trying to find actually a good person. And that you kind of have blinders on. So if you thought you had blinders on before, think about it now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing trying to wake you up, ladies, give you some good tips. I'm gonna be truthful to you. It might hurt sometimes. You might not like it. It might even trigger you, or it might hurt your feelings sometimes. I'm okay with that. I'm just making sure that you know the truth, and it should set you free. I want to make sure you have the best outcomes that you can possibly have. Like I said the other day, I'm straight. You see my wife. You see how fine she is.
Thank you, honey.
We
I appreciate
in a
that.
big, beautiful house, the generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? 2 beautiful daughters.
And more than that, we got Christ.
Yeah, we got God. Yeah. God got involved. God. Remember that Bulldog episode? God got involved. Like Pope, the dude from Pope Vision. God got involved.
Good night.
Yeah. But that's all we have for you.
That's all
Go
we
ahead and
have.
like, subscribe, and go ahead and hit the bell for more notifications. We'll see you in the next one. And I want to tell you, ladies, you can either reach for the stars or land in the clouds. So now you can go for the stars and continue taking the blue pill, or you can land in the clouds and wake up and get a good man from the clouds and take the red pill.
Red pill.
It's your choice. But I urge you to take the red pill. Till we meet again.